Steve Bird, Lineal Boxing TV, partnered by Pride Security Global. Very happy to be joined by Matt Gorton. First, Matt, thanks for your time.
No worries, Stevie.
Just firstly then, could you explain a little bit about your background? What made you fall in love with boxing?
I started boxing when I was about 19 or 20 in a local boxing club. Yeah, went there for a year or so. Didn't think I was getting where I wanted to go. So I went to another local club in which I met a trainer that I boxed for 6-7 years. Learned a load about the sport, sort of got a real passion for it. Started training fighters when I was about 26, 27. I'm 36 now. And sort of the journey started from there, really.
Who was your sort of heroes growing up, your boxing heroes? Who were the people you sort of watched? And
well, I'm sort of mid-30s, so I remember the days of the Ben fights, the Eubank fights, you know. Henry Wharton, those sort of fights. And you also sort of remember like your Lewises, your Brunos, and of course your Tyson. But for me as a kid, as a young man of boxing, sort of, probably Ricky Hatton, I would have said, you know. He was probably my boxing hero.
Yeah, good stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So you've just got your pro licence?
Yes, I have. About a year and a half ago now, yeah.
Can you explain the process of that? Because that's a hard licence to get.
Yeah, it's like, I suppose, any sort of licence that you're after, you have to apply. Once you pass the checks and all the background checks they do on you, you then go for sort of an interview in front of the Southern Area Board, up in the East End we went to, and they ask you various different questions, your background in boxing, they ask you any relevant qualifications, you get your little green book which you've memorised, which some of us don't, so you get pulled apart from that. If you're successful on that, you then get forwarded to a course which I had to go up to Warrington. It's a couple of day course, it's good as gold, it's good, it's a good course, you know. It's very, it helps you, especially when you first start sort of coaching within the professional game, and that's a pass or fail multiple choice. Once you pass that, that goes away, they put all your stuff together, then you get your licence through and you sort of go from there.
Do you have to reapply for your licence each year, is it all?
No, you have to do first aid, I think it's every 3 years, and then you pay a subscription to renew it every year.
So how many pros have you got on the books at the moment?
I've got 2 professionals. I've got a welterweight, and I've also got a light heavyweight. One's 3-0, one's 2-0. I've had them since they first started, which was 4 or 5 years ago. One of them walked in the gym. He was a little doorman. He won't mind me. He was about 90 kilos when he first started.
What are their names, Matt?
One's Aaron Collins. He's the welterweight. Aaron Bam Bam Collins, and one's Sam Horsfall. Okay. He's a light heavyweight. Aaron walked in the gym. He was flat out on the weights and all the rest of it. You know, wanted to change his life a bit and what have you. Started boxing, got him up to a standard after about 3 to 6 months. He started fighting, he was very successful in what he did. Same with Sammy Horsfall. You know, Sammy Horsfall was knocking people over. And it got to a stage, I suppose, 4 or 5 years down the road after training, what do we do now with them?
Yeah.
So I took them and they got them sparring with a couple of professionals within the local area. They handled themselves. They've both got cracking discipline. You know, they were up for the challenge. As soon as I mentioned, do you want to do this, they were bang on it, and we've sort of made headrows from there, really.
Because you did a lot of stuff with like the white collar.
Yeah.
Can you look at some of these lads, and I've seen some of the shows and I've been there, and some of these guys have got real talent, haven't they? It's a real good sort of stepping stone as opposed to the ABAs. There
is. I mean, I can comfortably say that 3 or 4 of the lads that I've got, we definitely have won local titles. And also the style they get taught is a bit more of a professional style. They're selling tickets, they're coming into ring tunes, they're getting interviewed, they're doing that sort of thing before they go over. And I really would have said that side of the sport especially has helped my 2 lads, 100%.
And I'm not saying anything bad about the ABAs because it's fantastic, sort of, but there's such a big stepping stone from the amateurs to the pros, isn't there? So like, exactly like you said, just walking into a big crowd cheering, selling your tickets, it's a good sort of platform to start.
Yeah, I mean, I've met, since sort of Sam and Aaron have been going, I've met quite a lot of lads they've been sparring with and some sort of good domestic boxers, and they've all sort of mentioned that the jump from amateur boxing to professional boxing is a big leap without sort of getting that experience in between.
What's your personal style of boxing? What do you prefer to work with?
Everything.
You can work with,
What I'm saying is I'll take each fighter individually and train them individually. Sammy's a light heavyweight, I'm not going to teach him the same as a welterweight. Aaron's a welterweight, I'm not going to teach him the same as a light heavyweight. I've had a lot of experience with English trainers, but I've also had experience with Eastern European trainers as well. So I'd like to say I take the best of everything, you know, and each fighter that comes in the gym, I teach them differently.
Is there any particular style you enjoy more training? Do you like...
Everyone likes teaching come forward fighters, don't they? You know, everyone likes teaching sort of body punchers and explosive boxers, but it doesn't always work like that.
So just going on from that, do you have any input into the matchmaking of the fights? Do you?
No, we're signed with CEO Boxing, which is Charles Oliver's gig. We fight out of Camberley. Well, I've got 2 gyms. I use Camberley and also I use a gym in Sandhurst as well. Yeah. We have a matchmaker that does all the running around for us and helps us out. He'll get me the fighters or opponents for my guys. I'll check them through and then we work from there really. I mean, both my boys are, I think, both are going to kill me now. I think one's 25, one's 26. Won't say which one I think it is. They've both got still got hair, which is handy. So we're not here to mess about, mate. You know, every fight is a learning curve as well as getting the win. You know, I'm not really interested in easy fights. I'm not interested in getting 20 nobodies, banging them out and moving on. You know, they both do tickets, these lads. Yeah. And we're hungry. We want to move on. We want to get opportunities. Especially with the different styles in the 2 lads.
How hard is it for you being a trainer, getting them absolutely right on point, especially with training camps? There's so many times the trainers overtraining their lads, they get on they leave it all in the gym. Yeah. How hard is it for you to actually get that right?
I'd say I've done my physical side of training as well. I've done diplomas in personal training, diplomas in conditioning, you know, all those various different things. So I would say I understand quite a lot about peaking the body at the right time. I understand working the different body types. For instance, a big light heavyweight against a small, stocky welterweight, and I condition them, you know, in the way they need to be doing. And also, listen, it's about being clever as well these days. Let them recover. Yeah. You know, I've got a lot of tricks which I'm not going to tell you, which I use, which is definitely making my lads fitter and stronger than other people. Yeah. And you get other coaches, they're like, you can't be doing that. I'm like, I do it and it works, and that's what works for us, you know. Yeah. And with both these boys, they're incredibly disciplined. They'll be here at 5:30 in the morning. You know, they'll be here at 6:30 at night. They'll be here at Sunday afternoon in Timbuktu if they want to spar. So with these 2, it's easy to work with them. Yeah. In fact, it's a pleasure to work with them because they're that disciplined and they're both listeners and they're both learners. So it's happy days.
That must make it so much easier for you as well when you've got lads like that that will listen, that will do what you say.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have taken them on pro if they weren't that. I'm not interested, you know. Yeah. The amount of time and effort that goes in, not just from me, but for them. If they didn't have that real discipline aspect to them, forget it. I wouldn't have done it. They could carry on being amateur boxers, white collar boxers. You know, I'll always support anyone that comes in the gym. You know, just a minute ago you met a guy that I train who's just back here on leave from the army. He comes and sees me 2 or 3 times a week. You know, I've got a fellow over the back there. He's ready to go. He's a sort of local businessman. It's about training everyone. But if you're going in a pro game, mate, it's flat out commitment for me. It's flat out commitment for them. It's flat out commitment for the whole team. If you're going to get anywhere, and what's the point if you're not?
Absolutely. And then that's serious, and then once you start going that way, then it's let's go for it. If we're going to do it.
You know, like I say, one's 3-0, one's 2-0. I've just had a bit of an opportunity come through for my light heavyweight, which I'm not going to talk about. And the other, and well, again, they're both unbeaten fighters. You know, maybe another 3-4 fights. Let's get Southern Area titles, and let's just go, mate. Yeah. Let's crack on. They're sparring spot on. You know, and you're just not here for a long time. You know, you're here to make your mark quickly and move them on. Happy days. You know?
Just going on from that, what other coaches do you personally look at and try and take bits off?
Like, again, a real good question. Everyone. Yeah. You know, I'm humble enough to say everyone. Yeah. I'll learn something off the bloke down the ABA club down the road. I'll learn something off the bloke who just comes in and does a bit every night. I'll watch the best in his country, but I'll also watch the best in international coaches as well. Yeah. My coach was a Russian coach, and I learned a lot of him, not only about physically, but about mentally side of the sport. So I'm humble enough to say a bit of everything.
That's a fantastic answer as well, because it actually shows you're willing to listen to everything to just get that tiny bit of an advantage.
Yeah, to get a tiny bit of advantage, that's exactly right. Yeah. And you can take something, if you've got half a brain on you and you're any good at this game, someone can say one thing that you can watch thing and you can turn it into, you know, a whole training sessions, you know, that keeps your boys in front.
Just going on from that as well, and one thing I couldn't believe, watching that George Groves, Chris Eubank Jr. fight, the difference in the cornering. Yeah. Shane McGuigan, his arm went. Yeah. Sorry, George Groves' arm went. Yeah. As soon as it happened, he's on it. Yeah. Chris Eubank Jr.'s corner couldn't even control his cut. Yeah. And when you're at that level of boxing, these tiny little things.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, and again, you see established coaches with the knowledge that they're giving over, the information they're giving over, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, and then you're getting St. Geezers starting off down the road. Yeah. You know, giving the correct advice, the advice that you would. But it's like anything, you just have to keep it basic and add to it on top of it.
Of course.
You know, I mean, and keep calm. Yeah. You know, keep calm, and more importantly, as silly as it sounds, you've got to enjoy it. You've got to be the third man, haven't you? Or the second man, actually. It's boxing. Sorry, I forgot. Right, you've got to just enjoy what you're doing, mate, and keep calm. And again, once you get to know your fighters, they react differently. Yeah. Some of them need a slap, you know, and some of them just need a bit of a cuddle, mate. And it's working again with that personality and
finding the balance.
And finding out, you know, what you're going to do. Not panicking, you know, and just. I don't know. Do you know what? Take each fight as it comes, and just if you're chilled out, things come to your mind. If you're all stressed out and you're having a breakdown, nothing's coming, mate.
And I love watching corners in fights as well. And one thing I've never understood is where the boxer comes in and there's about 3 different people screaming different advice at him.
Mate, I know. I like doing it on my own.
Yeah.
You know, Charlie's helped me right out here.
Yeah.
And we've got another lad that helps me out, but I'm quite happy to do everything on my own. Yeah. You know, again, you learn how to do your hands, you learn how to do all that sort of stuff. You know, one voice in the corner, and you know, like you say, when you see these fighters, they've got 10 geezers sort of leaning over them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to take it in. I don't know how they'd be able to take it in. So yeah, but again, it just boils down to a bit of leadership, doesn't it?
Have you got a cut man and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, we use a cut man. He's on the end of the phone as and when we need him. Yeah. You know, so again, you learn stuff off him, which is great.
Absolutely. One last thing then, would you consider going to like other places to train and getting a bit of like going to America? Is this really?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, we're going all over the place at the moment. We're going to East London and Bicester. You know, so we've almost cracked New York, mate. But no, of course. And as the lads got for their levels and their box rec improves, you know, you're starting to get a few more phone calls for this, a few more phone calls for that. Yeah, I'm learning, they're learning, we're all learning, and yeah, of course I would.
So lastly, Matt, anything you want to add? Any messages for any guys looking to do what you do, and what advice could you give?
Be humble, have fun, learn off everyone.